Am I the fire and you're the chat? How are we going to do this? You look good, right? So I know Duncan for many years. I've been in Silicon Valley will be 20 years in 2 months. I saw many cycles. So in 2000, it's super easy to found a startup and find a good job. At that time, I was doing programming. Anyway, so I want to learn from you a lot today. So this is a good chance to ask a very tough question, very tough question. I was joking. Okay. So this theme is seeding the future. There are many people believe it's summer, many people believe it's winter. There are lots of different challenges. I know Bullpen is over $100 million fund. You guys do lots of investment, many years. You saw lots of things going on. Maybe you can start from zero. Where you guys at in terms of investment positioning?
Okay, Bullpen Capital is post-seed. We invented post-seed. It's now become a thing in that you see C+, C2, Pre-A, whatever they say it is. But we call it post-seed. Because we saw this big, call it a phase shift in venture. So back in the 90s, I had 2 IPOs, very lucky guy. And to start a company, needed to raise $5 million. Series A was the first institutional money. It was $5 million or more. By about 2005, $500,000. You didn't need to go to Series A. And a whole change in venture occurred. I could encapsulate it by saying in 2005, there might have been a handful of seed funds. By 2015, there were 600 micro VC funds. In 2000, there was something like 1,000 fund managers and venture funds in this area. By 2011, people counted fewer than 85 were still active investors. So the old Series A had done a complete change from 1,000 to 100-ish, and this new breed came up. Today, because of the phase shift, seed is now Series A is now Series B. I just saw some data. I don't know if you saw this. Paul's been around doing venture for a long time, a great fund. Wing, people out of Excel, came up with a chart. They said, 10 years ago, 5 million was an A round. Today, 5 million is seed. 10 years ago, 15 million was a B round. Today, 15 million is an A round. I won't tell you what a B round is today. It's way up there. Complete phase shift. Seed is A is B, B is C, and D is an IPO or something. So we saw this. So we started Bullpen with the following theory. There's going to be a lot of seed funds. We thought there'd be 100, 600. We thought that the fewer remaining Series A would get really big. $500 million, $1 billion under value, under management. If you have $1 billion fund, and I was in one for a while, you cannot write a $500,000 check. You can't do it. You get fired. You have to write a $5, $10, or $15 million check. So the main Series A funds became 10 million was the new check, not 2, 3, or 5. Whereas the seed people were still doing $1 million seed round, $1.2 million, let's do a couple cap converts, let's sort of creep up to $1.5 million. Between $1 million and 10 is a pretty big gap. That's post-seed. All right. So that's our story. We've done pretty well. I can give you the stats, vanity stats if you want. But the thing for you to understand is, I think there's another phase shift that just happened. How many people here know the lean startup? Eric Rees, the book, right? Steve Blank, professor here, fantastic thinker on it. That defined a whole era, the era of cheap, the era of lean. When I started Bullpen, we were going to do lean. Then what happens? He wrote a Harvard Business Review article just about 6 months ago. Lean is dead.
6 months ago.
In September, Lean is dead. About the same time, a book came out, Blitzscaling, from Reid Hoffman. You know about blitzscaling? So, Steve Blank said, if you can raise boatloads of money, why do lean? Just raise a lot of money and spend it, and see if you can find your way. It's a complete change in attitude. The other stat you should all know, we'll get a question in a minute, sorry. The other thing you should all know is that around 2015, the number of startups worldwide, not just here, but here too, peaked. So it's hard to sometimes get the stats, but the stats I'll say is first fundings. So the number of new startups peaked. I think it actually peaked in Q3 of 2015 for reasons that are neither here nor there. It's declined ever since. The number of new starts may be down as much as 40 or 50% from its peak. But venture money's up. We have record years of venture investment. $100 billion, what's that? $100 billion. Record years of venture investment. Those of you from China will probably know this because 60% of Chinese venture money is going into round sizes over 100 million. In the US, it's approaching 50% of venture money goes into rounds that big. We're now actually tracking $250 million rounds. I saw you had a panel on super giant rounds. These are IPOs. The number of venture-backed rounds, I think in 2012 that were over 100 million, might have been 10. Maybe it was 8. It was like, you could know every one of them. It's so shocking. Today, it's commonplace to raise money like that. So the phase shift is, we've gone from lean to hyperscale. People are trying to figure out, are certain ones of your companies hyperscalable? So we all know Bird and Lime, the scooter companies. Everybody's familiar with that? You still haven't broken your wrist yet, you're still okay, good. We invested in a scooter 2.0 thing called Wheels down in LA. It's kind of a cool little company. It's a seat as opposed to stand up. It's got a helmet. They just launched this. What's amazing about it is Bird and Lime are two of the fastest companies ever to $1 billion valuation. I think 15 months. Wheels, we think, will track very close to that. There's a deal called Brex all over San Francisco. You see Brex credit cards. You guys have seen this. I think they also unicorn in record time. Paul's probably an investor. He's in some really cool companies like Uber. Uber might become the next trillion-dollar company when it gets to its IPO. It might go from 10 years ago nothing, now worth 100 billion maybe, and maybe within the next decade $1 trillion. That is hyperscale. So the message I'm giving you is we've gone in a sea change again, a phase change, lean to hyperscale, until this whole thing blows up. All right.
That's a lot of information.
Fire, you're the chat.
Okay, I have a tough question. There's a challenge here. The last 12 months, the venture capital investment had dropped a lot, according to PitchBook and a couple of data sources. They said, if the VCs are slowing down their investment, so can the startups take a chance? That's my first question. Related question that many of our mentors or instructors said, okay, well, startups, you should eat chicken king. But now, they're telling us, okay, we raise money to no future. Is there a challenge?
No, I think that's a good observation. I don't know if it's that dramatic, but let me put it this way. Some of the earlier panels touched on this. If you're doing frontier tech is the next wave, whatever it happens to be. The venture industry will give you a pass. You don't have to go to $1 billion value in a year and a half. Because frontier tech by its nature is future. So there's a lot of frontier tech, like self-driving cars. They're always 5 years away. They'll be 5 years away in 5 years, but it's frontier tech. AI, things like that. That's one category that will get patient money. But if you're in the category that we're now living in, mobile, social, cloud, SaaS, you would better have a hyperscale playbook. Because the breadth of the venture industry is narrowing. Those of you who are stock market wags, when you get near the end of a bull market, breadth narrows. The breadth is narrowing. People are putting more and more money into the same company, and they're trying to get these puppies out public while the window's still open. So your choice is, do the frontier tech, patient money, or come up with a hyperscale thing, impatient.
So what about angels? Now here's the challenge that will angels still invest if it's not sure the business will invest after?
AngelList, one of the great innovations along with Y Combinator and so coming out of this era of lean. AngelList is the access point for a lot of family offices and people outside of the valley who want to get in. What we find though is the crowdfunding part is probably the least interesting part of AngelList. We use AngelList to fill around. You know, the 300, 400,000 to a syndicate fill around. It's really good for that. I think what AngelList's secret sauce though is helping a lot of money outside of this area get access into deals, outside of crowdfunding itself. So all of you here trying to raise money, you should certainly work with AngelList, work with syndicates who can drag other
Angel
money.
network.
Angels.
So
you've got angels here. You've got Jordan from Jordan, I heard today. I love that. You've got a lot of really good angels that are presented today. You also heard on the angel panel there was a choice being made. Are you an angelish deal that'll stay lean and get the profit? Or you're a hyperscale deal where institutions should come in? I think if I were an angel in an angel network, I would try to find either the future long-term frontier tech, which is really awesome and cool, and has much more real technology in it than a lot of the stuff now, or I would try to find hyperscale candidates and see if they get there. I wouldn't play in the middle. It's just not going to get funded. Okay, let me give you a story. Let me give you. Do I have time? I'm running out of time here. Got a little bit of time?
Still
Okay, let me put the two together. I'll give you a thesis here. AI is really interesting. Machine learning is getting now really interesting. Everybody says they got machine learning. But if you're going to hyperscale a company, it's hard to do it. It's hard to operationalize. It's hard to hire enough people, train them, get them to do stuff. There's a normal gating factor of how fast you can grow with a lot of people in a company. What if your AI can sit in the back? One of my companies was WAG, Uber for dog walking. It used to be funny, all these Uber for X's, they'll be Uber for dog walking, ha ha ha, the audience would laugh. And it came along, and it's a superior company. So I love that. I remember. Uber was growing really well with people. And we told them, stop it. They had no real competition. They'd opened up 8 markets. We say, operationalize everything in code. Everything. No human intervention. They figured that out. They launched 50 markets in 1 weekend. With the walkers, everything. Bam. That is hyperscale playbook. Use AI to create an operational foundation that you can grow really fast without adding people. And then you can go after the hyperscale thing. So Jordan, in the angel stuff, if you find a company that can hyperscale, first make sure it gets everything right before it tries. Where I disagree with both Reed and with Steve Blank is they say just throw money at the problem. Wrong. First get it operationally scalable and then put the pedal to the metal. And this is where the lean, you go lean and then fat, so to speak. You don't just blow out immediately with lots of money.
That's great insight. Let's give Duncan a big hand of applause. Thank you.